a Blackblood from the ABC Warriors. Let's see if we can get that to lock on. Woo! Look at that. He is one of the most feared and bloodthirsty robots of the Volgan forces, and we are going to learn how to paint him quick and dirty. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Obviously, I have primed the model black. This is the Warlord Games resin model, so try not to drop it as best as you can. We are going to kick things off with the lead belcher. Now, I am enjoying painting robots. I never thought I'd say that. I'm also enjoying using metallic paint. Another thing that I never thought I would say out loud. Now, I use this as a base coat. I find speed paints over this pick up a slight metallic shine. It's nothing too crazy, but I really like the effect it has given me. Do not expect me to start using metallics across everything I'm painting. I am still not 100% sold on it, but I am starting to enjoy it. So as you can see, I'm just swiping down the model, leaving some dark areas. That will help with shading later on, but ultimately covering everything in this lead belcher. As I'm looking at it though, it feels a little too dark, so I'm grabbing the Stormhost Silver, which we used on the Hammersteins, if you've watched that video. And we are going to just do another dry brush over this. I'm going to go heavy on areas that get more light, so top of the thighs, the chest, are getting a good heavy coat of this. Whereas certain areas, just getting the swipe. But as you can see, I'm just doing one swipe, maybe two on some of the higher points. I'm just swiping straight down, covering the model. Like I said, this is all getting covered with speed paint, so how much of it will show through at the end, I have no idea. But we can learn together. I'm hoping this is going to work. Make me a shiny robot, but not too shiny. This is such a great model. Look at the detail they got into this. He's got his shoulder pads. I never know the technical terms. His high-peaked hat. His spine is really well detailed as well. Up next comes the white scar. I'm gonna use this to base coat areas that I'm not gonna be wanting metallic, if that makes sense. So things like his boots, his glove, the flame on the goblet coming from the Hammerstein iron or oil that he drinks, his tassels, his hat, places like that. I'm gonna hit up with a white base coat. This will just help the colours later on when I'm speed painting. It's a pretty dull phase, so let's skip forward. Now that Blackblood is looking like a Vegas stripper, I grabbed the Magic Blue by Army Painter. I was very tempted just to shade the white that I'd done and leave him as is. He looks hilarious, but I thought we better do this properly. So in his photos that I can see on the Warlord Games site, they do the oil in a bluish colour. Makes sense, oil kind of has that tint. I don't really have the paints to pull that off, so I'm just using the Army Painter Magic Blue. I'm going to carefully work my way around. I don't want to mess this up too much. The flames are going to be yellow, orange and black coming off it, so I don't want blue spilling up into it. Not too worried if the blue sloshes down his goblet, because that is ultimately remaining just a silverish colour. I'm just going to take my time. Make sure this is nice and clean. Got a little bit of a shake going on. It's late here. Try my best. And make sure I get these droplets that are coming down. And we can jump into the next stage. And that stage is his shoulder pads. I am using the Army Painter Blood Red. They look like they went a lot darker than I am. But this is a great pop of colour, so I want it to be a little bit bright, a little bit cartoony. If you were trying to follow their artwork, I would probably recommend the, is it Slaughter Red or a Flesh Tearer Red? Something like that, something that's a little bit darker. I wanted slightly brighter, so I've gone with the Blood Red. I will be covering this all in a black wash at the end to tie all the colours in. So I want something that's a bit brighter to start with, because I know I'm going to dull it down. And I found these really fiddly, because they're flat, but they got this little overhanging lip that joins the tassels. And because it's speed paint, if you're not careful, it flows into those tassels, And that will be a pain in my butt later if that happens, because the tassels are yellow. So any red in there is really going to muck it up. So I'm just taking my time. I'm going to try and be neat. And then also on his hat, he's got a little red part to it. So I'm just picking that out, all with contrast and speed paints. I don't really use much other paints at the moment. I'm just enjoying these speed paints. They're getting figures to a level that I enjoy. They look good from 3 foot away. So I'm just running with it for now. At this stage, I want to make sure everything is drying properly. So I move on to Absolution Green, which I'm going to use for his body. I'm going to pick out pretty much all the armor plates in green and just leave some areas the silver that I've got going on. He is predominantly a dark green character. In some comics he's actually a brighter green, but I'm going for that dark green look. And I feel this color works great for it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you for stopping by. It really means a lot. I love that people have embraced my style of video content / painting style. Really means a lot. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button or the like button. Also remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. And if you're into 2000 AD or actually any form of miniature painting, make sure you come check out the Discord. I've dropped the link in the community comments. That means you do have to go looking for it. It might be somewhere else on this site by now. But for now, I've hidden it away in the community section of YouTube. This is to help slow down spam bots. We don't want you there. So if you've got to come looking for it, at least it proves that you wanted to come find us. So yeah, come on. Come join us. Come show off your painting. It's a good little place to share your photos. There's some like-minded collectors over there as well. So far, we seem to be growing at a nice slow pace, which is what I enjoy. And people are sharing their work. So come on over. I want to see what you're painting. And like that, the green is now complete. I did miss a little bit in that arm. This is why you always double check your work. Completely missed his arm. That is quite comical. Anyway, luckily I still had the green out. Right, there we go. He is now starting to look like a Blackblood. Such a cool model. The character is hilarious as well. He led some elite units of the Volgan forces and was actually quite the troublesome hero for the Volgans. He caused a lot of trouble for the Hammersteins, but ultimately they captured him and brought him round to their cause for a little while, and he became part of the Magnificent Seven. But when Volcan was released and the Volgan War started up again, he went off and joined them. He is traitorous to the core, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, Darkwood. He weirdly has like a leather cloth in his hat. I don't really know what it was. Initially, I hadn't noticed it. And then as I was looking at the model, I was trying to work out what it was. And then I zoomed in on the Warlord Games one and saw that he just has a brown cloth. Maybe to protect his ears, his non-existent ears. I really don't know what it's for. Don't know if it's actually a common thing on military helmets or hats. I have no military experience beyond war films that I don't believe to be accurate at all. So I'm not even going to pretend to know uniforms or understand uniforms. But if you know what this cloth would represent, let me know. Maybe it's just a cloth. Wipe up his oil that's leaking from his sweaty head or something. We all get that during the summer, so maybe I should start wearing a cloth around my head. With the brown now drying, I grab the Zealot yellow from the army painter. I do his belt buckle. He's got this flaming oil in his goblet that I'm going to try and make a flame effect on. Not entirely sure if I can pull that off, but we'll see. And he also has a little cap pin. So we're going to make sure I hit up all those areas. Flame is great with this yellow. It's got so much texture to it. And this yellow paint loves texture. Just get that little pin and we will be done with this yellow. I'm not doing the tassels in this yellow. Please note. I have a different colour for that. It's going to help make it look different to the flames and its hat pins. So probably do that next maybe. I don't know. He's looking so cool. Very happy with the effect. Okay, we will tackle the tassels next. So I'm grabbing the Army Painter Sand Golem. Is it Sand Golem? Yeah. And I'm just going to do the tassels. It's going to come out kind of like a dirty blonde colour. Is kind of how I imagine it being described. So I think it works really well with cloth tassels. And it's going on great. Once again, so much detail that speed paints love this model. There's nice shaded areas that it's going to flow into and make look darker. And there's just detail everywhere. Such a great model. One of my favourite sculpts so far of the ABC Warriors. I think this is much better than the Hammersteins that you get in the starter set. And Volcan. He's got so much more detail. He's a smaller model, but he is just full of the details. Warlord Games, you did a great job on this one. I really like it. Right, we seem to be closing in on the end. We are grabbing the Gravelord Grey. This is the last of the main colours going down. Like I said, pretty straightforward models. I really enjoy the fact that these robots are so easy to paint. For me, I get like an hour or two a night at best to do painting, or hobby time as we'll call it. So having things that I can start and finish in an evening, I really like. So that's why I love these types of speed painting / rough, dirty paint jobs. Just fits my schedule, lets me relax for a couple hours, and I end up with what I think looks pretty cool. Damn camera. It did not want to focus just then. But yeah, I'm going to cover the boots, his hat, and his gloves. All in the Gravelord Grey. And that's pretty much him done. After this stage, I do hit everything with none oil. He's meant to be a little bit darker than I've done him. He's very bright at the moment. Some people might like it. I wanted to go a little bit darker with him. So I'll probably do that off camera, because it's not a very exciting step. And then I will grab some glamour shots with his finished base. And we will have another ABC Warrior complete. We are getting through these pretty quick. I am going to have to start doing battle reports, I think. They're just very time consuming and they scare me a little bit, because I always make mistakes. People always seem to find those mistakes. They find them so quickly. So quickly. And here we go, the glamour shots. Everybody loves the glamour shots. This is another Volgan hero done. I'm going to have to get Mongol. I think that's got to be next on my hit list. But I got lots of projects coming up. We got some slain figures that need painting. I got the other two villains from this ABC Warrior pack. So as always, remember to like, subscribe. Thank you if you've reached this far. If you have actually reached this far, drop a little, let's say, drop a little smiley face in the comments. Let me know you've actually reached this far. And if you're over on the Discord channel, thank you for joining that. And I look forward to chatting to you over there. But until next time, feel free to hit that super thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.